All right, it's time to have a chat. What is up, guys? I am Jess. Welcome back to my channel. I have something very near and dear to my heart that I want to talk to you all about today. The Marvel Cinematic Universe. We all know how much I love her. We post about her all the time. There's been like this huge debate lately that I really want to put my input into. Every time I go on Threads or Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it now, people are always complaining that Marvel is peaked. I see a lot of tweets like, nothing's gonna top Endgame. Marvel's so bad now. I miss the old MCU. I miss the old Avengers. That Marvel's had its time and it's reached its height and it's never gonna be the way that it was. And here's the thing. I really do not agree with this take for multiple different reasons. Number one, for starters, when the MCU first began, back with like Iron Man and Thor and the Hulk and everything, people were not saying that it was going to be like this big, huge thing. It was different. It was new. Like, I don't think anybody before that had ever tried to build a full movie universe like that, where it was all connected. It was just kind of there and it was happening and people thought it was cool, but it wasn't like, oh my God, it's Endgame. So whenever people give this hot take of like, when is the old MCU gonna be back? Like, I miss the vibes of like the first movie. You guys, we're literally in it right now. We had to be introduced to characters like Hawkeye and Black Widow and Thor and Iron Man and Hulk and all of the original Avengers for us to have the first Avengers team up. And I really think people forget this when we're looking at the newer movies. They're just kind of like, ew, new character. I miss Iron Man. And like, don't get me wrong, I miss them too. But nobody's giving the new characters a good chance. We have to learn about the characters and give them a chance to build up to their characterization before we have another big team up like Avengers Endgame. Not every movie needs to be a big superhero team up movie. Sometimes it's nice to have the little side stories. If every movie was like Endgame, no movie would be like Endgame. And there was a movie buildup of over a decade before we got there, and I think people really forget that. That's my first big argument. My second argument, kind of following up on this, is that I really feel like people aren't giving the new movies a chance. The new movies and the Disney Plus shows. I know it's a lot and it's like a lot to watch and stuff, but you don't have to watch the stuff that you don't want to watch. And I always see a lot of discourse online of people talking about the projects, and I feel like most of them either didn't give it a chance and only watched like the first episode, or are just kind of like piggybacking off of what other people are saying about the projects, if that makes sense. Like, there were so many projects that I thought were so fun that people were just like hating on online. She-Hulk, for example, huge one for me. I loved She-Hulk. I thought it was so fun. The marketing was awesome. She was supposed to be fun, silly, goofy superhero, and I felt like I really connected with her character, and I feel like a lot of what I saw was people just constantly complaining about that show. Another big one was the Marvels. Like, everyone was like, oh, the Marvels did so bad in the box office. There was no promotion. We were in the middle of a SAG-AFTRA strike. Most people, I feel like, didn't even watch it, and it was such a fun movie with such a cool plot. So I don't know. I just feel like there's this weird, everybody wants to hate on the movies without giving them the proper watch. And another thing, you don't have to like every MCU project, okay? I hated Secret Invasion. I'm just gonna say it right out. I hated Secret Invasion. I thought it was probably the worst MCU project we've ever got. But I know probably there's someone out there who maybe liked Secret Invasion, and like, good for them. That's awesome. But I'm not gonna go and start screaming into the void about how I miss the original Avengers and Marvel's peaked and it's the worst just because I didn't like Secret Invasion. Like, the cool thing about this era of Marvel that we're in is there's so many movies and shows to pick from. You can truly pick and choose what you want to watch. Like, seriously, guys, if you didn't like She-Hulk, that's fine, but other people did, so like, don't hate on the show. Oh man, I just get like so upset because like, don't hate on other people who enjoyed the show because you don't know why they liked it. Like, I keep using She-Hulk as an example just because I know so many people had kind of mixed feelings about that show, but for me, it came out during a time where I could see myself reflected in Jen's character, and because of that, it was such a special show to me. Like, I love She-Hulk. She's one of my favorite MCU characters, and I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. But I know for some people they really didn't like She-Hulk, and that's fine. You never know why someone likes a project the way they do. There could be something going on in their life that they're connecting that project to, and I hate when I see people online being like, why do you like this? It's so bad. It just tugs at my heartstrings when people are hating on projects for no reason. You're allowed to like and dislike what you like, but leave open space for people to like or dislike what they want. Also, my other big argument in this debate is like, everyone always is like, Marvel's peaked or like whatever, but then they always like pick and choose these big movies that they want to see. Like, the big one this week, Deadpool and Wolverine's coming out, and I have seen so much hype around this movie, and like, everyone's talking about it, everyone's so excited for Deadpool, and that's great, But like, where was this hype for the Marvels? Or like any of the more recent Marvel projects? It has not peaked. People just pick and choose the characters that they like. Like, if another Spider-Man movie, and you know, I love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I have a whole Spider-Man Funko shelf. I guarantee you, if they announced a Spider-Man project tomorrow, everyone would be like, Marvel's so back. Marvel was never gone. You just didn't like want to watch the new projects. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Not to get a little argumentative. I've just seen like time and time again newer projects with new people and new characters. They do not get as much attention as the long, well-beloved characters. And of course, the characters that are long beloved for a reason. I, of course, am so excited for Deadpool and Wolverine. I can't wait to find out what the next Tom Holland Spider-Man movie is gonna be. I am anxiously awaiting Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. There are so many things that I'm looking forward to for characters that I have long-term loved and have been like very popular characters in the MCU. But I just wish people kept this in mind when they're talking about this like Marvel has peaked debate, because I really, again, I don't think Marvel ever peaks. I think people just like it in waves based on what projects are out. Long story short, I'm just really tired of seeing this debate about how Marvel has peaked when you can very easily pick and choose the things that you like. You can always rewatch old projects. Of course, Marvel is different now. Of course, the original Avengers are gone. To quote a great poet, Taylor Swift, nostalgia is a mind's trick. I guarantee you everyone's gonna look back like years from now on this phase of Marvel and be like, man, I miss the multiverse saga era of the MCU. Like, I wish we could go back, because that's what they're doing with the original MCU. That's literally what they're doing. Give things a chance, guys. Things are gonna keep changing and growing, and that's what's so cool. Like, we get new stuff in the MCU now that we didn't get before, and I think because it's a multiverse saga, the MCU is really leaning into experimenting with new things, and this is the time for them to do it. We have literally endless possibilities of what they can do. Anyway, that was my little long-winded MCU rant of the day. If you couldn't tell, I'm very passionate about Marvel. I will die on this hill. Thank you guys so much for watching my little rant today. If you want to see more videos like this, more hot takes, should I do more hot take videos like this? I feel like I've never done a video like this. If you want to see more hot takes, let me know in the comments. And if you're looking to find me on other socials, you can find me at Female Peter Parker on TikTok, Instagram, and a huge shout out to my 2 channel members, Marvel Freak 247 and Challenger Girl ATX. Channel members get exclusive behind the scenes access and early access to videos, so if you're interested, you can find more in the description below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!